Hey, what's up, everybody? This is DJ Keo, and today I wanted to talk about the algorithm neural mix app for iPads and iPhones. So it's funny. I did a video about native instruments yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever this comes up, and I was talking about native instruments is always way ahead in the. They were too far in the future, so they create some kind of new gizmodo technology, whatever, to DJ with. And it's a little bit too far ahead in the future, and it's not embraced, and it fails miserably. And people who know about it, and everybody else is like, "What? This is great. This is new." I'm like, "But no, it's not new." So what I'm talking about is in 2015, Native Instruments developed the D2 and the S8 and S5, and these are all controllers without a jog wheel, which use a new technology called stems. And what does stems do? Stems broke down the instruments, the drums, and the vocals out of a mix. Actually, it was four things, but for all intents purposes, we'll just go with those three things. So, anyways, Algorithm developed a new neural mix for your iPad, whatever, and basically, instead of creating a new file format that has all of these things separate, they're allowing you to do it in the controller software or inside the software and the app without any extra bits and pieces, technically. And I think technically, because we'll get to that in a second. The idea is Stems failed because it wasn't supported by all these record companies and all these artists and yada, yada, yada. So let's bypass all that and let's use the algorithms and the software to finagle this thing and kind of do the same thing to mix results. And I think the best way to describe it is mixed results. Depending on the song, it works okay. Some stuff it works amazing, some things it doesn't work with. Basically, for your vocals, it works pretty good. For music, pretty good. Drums, not so much. So if you had vocals in a song and you had music in a song and you wanted to remove the drums, depending on the type of song it would do an okay job. But if it was the reverse, where you wanted to keep the drums and take out your vocals and your music, good luck with that. I looked at and shout out to Brandon Smith. He's a YouTuber. He did a review on this, and I went down a rabbit hole trying to find other people, and it's various mixed results right across the board. Some people are like, "This is the greatest thing ever," and some people are like, it works all right." There's a bunch of people on here that it was all over the place. Some people were great, some people were terrible, and that's to be expected when you do it software based. It's not going to be perfect versus you actually having the masters and taking out each part and mixing it correctly and putting it into one file. The other downside of using the stems version of this was the files were huge. They were, you're in the range from like 40 to 50 megabytes per song, and people were just like, I don't want that. We're in FLAC territory and waves and that kind of thing. People just didn't want to embrace it, and it took the onus on the record companies to kind of separate and mix these things down. This is one more steps they didn't want to do, which brings me to the problem here. And I did a long ramble to get to the point. Final. I know I'm one of those guys. Look at this: acapella, instrumental, radio edit. Because you can only get this from DJ pools, and occasionally maybe a YouTuber will do the hard work for you and take it off. Like, it is damn near impossible to get acapellas and instrumentals for songs. It is ridiculous, especially the songs that you want. Some random whatever song out there, maybe you can get one, but generally the songs that you really want to get an acapella from or instrumental, it's just not there. And it's a sign of the times and the way this stuff goes on today. I find it personally annoying because I used to use the instrumentals and acapellas all the time to make remixes and do all kind of stuff with it. It is what it is. Technically, and I think this is where the neural mix software comes in. That If you want to do the hard work and take the stuff out yourself, you can do it. Now, you have problems when you're using from like Beat Source or whatever, where you're not allowed to record these things. So you just get into this other weird limbo town for what we want to do as DJs and what used to be readily available to us and is now as a unicorn. I like the idea of the software. It'll never be perfect, and that's something you have to accept. If you want to spend the $50 and get the software and do the heavy lifting yourself, then that's pretty much if you want to get to this thing and get it yourself, that's the only way possible. Or join a DJ pool. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Do you use a lot of instrumentals in your mixes, and do you make remixes and that kind of stuff? Do you even care? Or are you like 80, 90% of the DJs out there that just put the two songs together and call it a day? It's intriguing. In application, it's okay. And the other issue with it is that there's no real software. I mean, there's no hardware that supports it like the D2 from Native Instruments. They had, you know, faders and buttons and stuff designed to take out the out vocals or whatever. And right now, you're basically touching the screen on your thing. And I think this is why it people will look at this software more as amateur versus professional. There's nothing you can do about it because there's no hardware that supports it. And you know, when I say hardware that supports it, I mean like dedicated buttons and knobs and faders that are designed for this one task. You can MIDI map it and you can do a bunch of other stuff, but there's nothing dedicated to this unless you dust off your D2 or your S8. And then what are we doing now? All right. Anyways, let me know what you guys think below. Leave your comments. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And peace out, bitches.